Mahomes looks to throw it. Pump faking. Right side. He wants it. A comeback. It is caught by Kelsey. Touchdown! Kansas City. The game is over. The Kansas City Chiefs are champions. How about those Chiefs?
Welcome to the Kingdom Corner here with Andrew and Dale. Man, the Chiefs are the 1 seed in the playoffs, Dale, after their victory against the Raiders on Saturday. How are you feeling about that?
Oh, man. Bittersweet.
Yeah.
So bittersweet in the sense that, man, I'm glad the Chiefs finally, they got the 1 seed. And I know you have said on this podcast multiple times, the last time the Chiefs have gone to the Super Bowl, they have been the 1 seed. And so that's good news. So hopefully that continues. But the bitter part is the regular season's over.
Yeah.
I mean, we are playoffs. I mean, so we have 4 more weekends of football.
Yeah, not much left at all. Not much
Man,
left. So,
I guess if you count the Pro Bowl, 5 weekends left of football. So
no one really counts that week. So,
yeah, I wouldn't think so.
With how the Chiefs stand as the 1 seed, they have to win 2 games to make it to the Super Bowl, but we don't want to jump too far ahead. We just need to focus on the game ahead of us.
Hey, one game at a time.
That's right. So 4 more weeks of football. So still got a little bit of time left. So hopefully the Chiefs will do well and be able to advance. But the Raiders here. So Chiefs went up against the Raiders, won with a score of 31-13. I would say all 3 phases showed up in that game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All 3. I was a little concerned about Bucker, but he came through, hit some clutch field goals and things like that. So he looked healthy. So that's good. You don't want him banged up. And, yeah, all 3. Offense looked good. Defense looked good. And, I mean, this offense, I don't know what the Raiders took off, but that offense put up a lot of points against the 49ers the week before. And so it was a dangerous offense. And for the Chiefs to come in and do work, the defense to do work is a good thing. Yeah. So my question to you is, do you think this is the best defense Mahomes has had?
It's hard to say. I think based on how they played on Sunday, I would say yes, but I want to see that defense come out against a stronger opponent too. And no shade thrown against the Raiders here, but against a playoff team, I want to see a defense like that against a playoff caliber team and see if we get the same result. Right. But if they play like that against the Raiders, I would say yes.
Yeah, so, I think they did a great job on the run game. I thought. I'm sure you have all the stats about what Josh Jacobs got, but yeah, I'm sure they did. It felt like they did a great job against the run and the pass, both.
Yeah, they did. Actually, their quarterback was their leading rusher in the game with 50 yards. Josh Jacobs just had 45. So
wow.
But I will point this out. If their quarterback is the one getting their most yards, and you can say Russell Wilson had the same thing probably too.
Yeah.
The Chiefs have got to have, and they started doing it later in the game, but the Chiefs have got to be able to spy quarterbacks who are running, because that is, we've talked about this before, but the running quarterback and the, outlet passes to the running backs have killed the Chiefs for a lot of this year. So one of those things. But one of the things we did say about keys of the game was turnovers, right? And the Chiefs, we can see what happens in a game now where the Chiefs don't turn the ball over and they force turnovers.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, these games don't look as close. And I think if we would have had something similar to that in previous games where the Chiefs' offense has at least been moving and they don't turn the ball over and force some turnovers on defense, we might see some more of these lopsided games like we saw this past game against the Raiders.
Oh, yeah. And they were just the boys were humming around the field, and it was good to see. They were excited. They had they kind of looked like they almost had flipped that switch, getting ready for the playoffs. So
and I saw a shout out to Nick Bolton here. He passed Derek Johnson as the leading tackler in a season for the Kansas City Chiefs. I believe it is 180 tackles, if I remember correctly.
My goodness.
It's I don't know what the
Holy
record.
Cow.
I don't know what the record was, but that's incredible. That's a crazy number. That
is a crazy number. Old DJ, man, that brings up some good memories and some bad ones.
Yeah, but I'll say, I would say with DJ though, more good than bad. I love Derek.
Oh yeah. I'm talking about. That team he was around.
Oh,
that's the
team.
Bad. That's the team. The good memories are him playing his heart out. The bad is the team. We could never get a team around him.
Yeah, I mean, we had some great defensive players with him. I mean, we had Derek Johnson, Eric Berry, Tamba Hali, Justin
Yeah.
Houston. I mean, you gonna those are some all-star caliber players on the defensive side. Two great defensive ends, a solid, great middle linebacker, a solid safety. I mean, man, what we'd give for a team with that kind of defense today. I'm not again throwing any shade even our current players, but those are some pretty special players we had then.
I think Houston's still playing.
He is. He's playing for Baltimore. So, yeah, he's still around. That dude, I don't know how old he is, but
he's old.
He's got to be pushing 40, right?
I mean, that was like early, like 2012, 2013, right? Wouldn't that be when?
It's got to be around there. Yeah. So he's been playing for at least 10 years at least.
Good for him.
So yeah,
good for him.
He's still putting up sacks and numbers. So I mean, I wouldn't be opposed if the Chiefs brought him back just for that solid defensive presence. But anyways, in this last game against the Raiders, here's Nick Bolton's number. This is gonna shock me when I saw it. He had 8 solo tackles, but he had 16 total tackles in the game.
Wow.
I'm sure that 16 helped push him over the edge to pass Derek Johnson. But man, glad to have Nick Bolton on our team. We're blessed to have some great defensive young guys that are going to be growing and become really good over the next couple of years.
Yeah. I think so. I think you're exactly right. I think the corners, not only Nick Bolton, but the corners, it was good to see Snead out there. Running around. I know he was questionable earlier on, and so it's good to have him out there. And I think it's going to be good to have the week off and get the boys all healthy and ready to go for the divisional round of the playoffs.
I mean, that whole defense was flying on Saturday. I mean, from getting after the quarterback, and I understand that he's a young quarterback with little experience, but still, they were putting pressure on him all day long from just about every position. So, great to see. George got himself another sack. Chris Jones got himself 2.
Yeah.
Frank Clark was in the mix. So good day.
Yeah. So so I know we've been talking about, it feels like for the whole season, we've been talking about complete game. Mm-hmm. Would you say this was a complete game by the Kansas City Chiefs, all 3 phases?
I'll say yes. You can make an argument that their offense slowed down a little bit in the second half. It could have just been they were up by so much they were trying not to do as much. So I'll credit it as that. But for the most part, yes, they played a complete game, which I was happy to see. Good to get something like that under your belt going into the postseason.
Yeah, it was a good quality win. Go off the high note. Also, I think that marks Mahomes is now 14-0 on the road in division games, which is
15.
15.
Because
15
remember his rookie season,
that's right.
That very last game he played on the road against Denver and got a win. So 15-0 on the road. It's incredible.
That's wild.
It is. So it's pretty crazy that a quarterback would start his career undefeated on the road in division play. That is I'd have to look at it. I don't feel like a quarterback has done that before.
No, I don't think so. I would say probably not. Because a lot of these quarterbacks we see, the Peyton Mannings, the John Elways, they all struggled earlier on in their career. And so I would say that was probably not. But now, again, we have to remember that Mahomes did have the fortune of sitting behind Alex Smith for, I guess, 15 games.
Yeah, and that makes a huge difference.
Oh, yeah, for sure, 100%. So
he still credits Alex Smith for a lot of his success, teaching him how to study and how to play the game.
There you go.
Yeah, so good to see the Chiefs get that victory against the Raiders. So now we know the AFC side, the NFC, they're still playing the Sunday night game as we're recording this. So it looks like Green Bay's going to get that final spot on the NFC side. But for the AFC, the Chiefs have secured the 1 seed. Buffalo is the 2. Bengals are the 3. And Jacksonville is the 4. So your 4 division winners as far as that goes. And then got some wild card teams with the Chargers.
Ravens.
Yeah, there you go. Ravens, and the last seed is Miami, the Dolphins there. So those are what we got. We got the first round bye. And so whatever the outcomes are this first weekend, the Chiefs will play the lowest seed that's still in the game. So let's just talk through what the NFL decided to do with the AFC side since the Cincinnati and Bengals game. Well, Cincinnati and Buffalo, there you go. Game was canceled. So did you see the results of that and what they decided?
Yeah, I did see the results. I believe if Kansas City and Buffalo play in the AFC Championship game, it will be at a neutral site.
Yeah, that is correct.
That's the best way to explain it, I think.
Yeah.
If they don't play, it will not be at a neutral site.
Yeah.
So, which I heard, I think yesterday or today, that Indianapolis has declined for their field to be used as a neutral site.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So there's already one down. I think they're going to have to find something else. So where would yours ideal spot be? A neutral site for Buffalo, Kansas City?
Man, if it had to be a neutral site, I don't know if there's a great location anywhere, but maybe Tennessee.
Yeah, I think the outdoors helps. I mean, I don't know both teams are from the outdoors, play outdoors in their outdoor stadiums.
Yeah.
So I think having an outdoor stadium would be good, even though Nashville is not going to be cold like it would be in Kansas City or Buffalo. But just having the outdoor elements would be a good thing.
Yeah. So, well, if they're trying to put in Indianapolis and they're not concerned about the outdoor elements since Indianapolis has a dome. So, we'll see what happens. But so of those teams that are in the playoffs here, if you could play any team, pretend you're the commissioner, because the commissioner is going to be the one who decides even where the neutral game is played between if the Chiefs and Buffalo plays. I also believe that the game in the first round here against well, no, that wouldn't be it. Nope, never mind. Just kidding.
Okay.
Anyways, so if you could play any of these teams that are left in the playoffs, who would you want to play the most?
I think the Jaguars. Or no, let me take that. Yeah, I mean, just like the only realistic team would be the Jaguars, because I think if Miami beat Buffalo, they would play Cincinnati, and then we would play the winner of the Jaguars and Chargers then. Or actually, we would get Miami if they beat Buffalo. Never mind.
Yeah, we would. So, but I'm just saying, any of these teams, no matter what the seeding is, if you could play any of them, which one would you
then
want
definitely Miami. Definitely Miami.
Yeah, I think I'd pick Miami too.
Yeah, definitely Miami. Yeah.
They are on a downward skid and do not look good.
Yeah.
They barely won their game today to get in and did not look good doing it.
Oh, my goodness. Did not look good at all.
Who's the scariest team, though? The team you'd least like to play?
Oh, man, there's two. If I could say that, there's two teams I would not like to play. One, I'll go start with the Bengals first. I would not like to play the Bengals, but I also think the Chiefs are due to win. I think the Chiefs are due to win a game against the Bengals. The Chiefs are just too good. I don't believe in having someone's number. I mean, I just think you can have it, but man, I think you get, I don't know. I think the Chiefs are just too good to lose 4 in a row to the Bengals. And the other team would be the Chargers. Would not want to play the Chargers, division opponent. They know us well. We know them well. But all our games always come down to a close ending. So I can't remember the last time we've blown out the Chargers, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Man, I'd probably say the same two in the same order. The Bengals are scary. They're just hot at the right time. They seem to have, as of late, had the Chiefs number with Mahomes and Burrow going against each other. So that's a team that I would be a little worried about going into. Not that I don't think the Chiefs could win or would win, because like you pointed out, I think the Chiefs are due for that win against the Bengals, but they would definitely have me a little more nervous than others. And the Chargers, they always seem to play the Chiefs well, even though the Chiefs may have still dominated that rivalry. All of those games seem to come down to one possession, every single one. They swept them this year, but most years, as far as like probably the past 2 or 3 years, they've split those games.
Yeah.
And so it's been a challenge every time the Chiefs have gone up against the Chargers.
Definitely a challenge. And so I would not want to see those guys in Arrowhead again. But I think Andy Reid would have a great game plan and ready to go. And we know that Andy Reid off a bye is basically undefeated. So
basically, yeah, I like it. So
but I'm sure the NFL scheduler has scheduled the AFC game that the Chiefs would play would be the last game.
Yeah.
So I'm probably pretty sure that that's how it's going to go.
Yeah, it does seem to be that way. So I'd like to read the Saturday game. That'd be much easier to watch and attend if possible.
Yeah.
But like you, I kind of think they're going to put them on the Sunday ticket, probably more watch viewers on Sunday than Saturday. So we'll see what happens. But I'm glad the Chiefs are the 1 seed, glad they've made the playoffs. And, for a few weeks there, people were just saying that, the Chiefs, who are they? They're falling off. And as you recall, at the beginning of the season, there was many people who picked the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah.
To not just lose the division and not get first, but pick them even to come in 4th place in the AFC West. And
oh, yeah. A lot of hate. A lot of hate out there.
But if you'll recall, nobody on this podcast made that.
Nobody. No one had a doubt.
This podcast had them as the 1 seed, beating them. And to our point again, don't knock the champ off until you knock them off. So
I think I looked back, and I think you and I both had them having one more loss than what they have.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're correct.
Yeah,
so,
I think we had.
So they did better than even we expected. So
yeah,
and that kind of makes you scratch your head a little bit on some of those losses, like especially against the Colts. Like, how did the Chiefs drop that game?
Oh man, can you imagine this? There would be none of this talk about who. Yeah, but
there would be no talk about a neutral site.
It'd be kind of concerning that the only teams we lost to would have been the Buffalo and Bengals. That would have been kind of concerning. It still is kind of concerning, but
that's true as well. Yeah. I think you got to be ready to play any game of the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, they'll be ready. The boys are going to be flying around.
As we've seen in years past, people have made the argument that, well, even division winner, if they don't have a winning record, they shouldn't be in the playoffs. And more times than not, that division winner with a losing record has come in and beat anybody that's come into their house.
Oh, yeah.
So any team that makes the playoffs can be dangerous. So it's good to keep your head on a swivel and focus on the team ahead of you and game ahead of you and not get focused too far down the line.
Yeah. I mean, what was the Chiefs? They are down 24-0 to the Texans.
Yep.
I mean, I know it did not end that way, but I mean, just the fact that they got up that fast and that quick, I mean, was a scary thing for the Chiefs. But they went on to win the Super Bowl. So hopefully we'll be good and go. We'll be ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're excited to see the Chiefs play in the coming weeks. So they'll have a week off since they have the first seed and first round bye and the playoffs coming here. But so we'll be recording our next episode next week after we know who the Chiefs will be playing against. And I'm sure it'll be a fun matchup either way. Who's your guess right now of who the Chiefs might play?
They're playing the Jaguars.
The Jaguars.
Yeah.
All right. So you're having the Jaguars beating the Chargers then.
Yeah, I'm trusting. I think it's going to go chalk the first round.
All right.
And so
I think it will too, but I'm not so sure that the Jaguars are going to beat the Chargers. So, and part of that depends on if the Chargers can keep their wide receivers healthy.
Yeah, but the Chargers are going to charge.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I don't want to have to face the Chargers, so I hope the Chargers lose. But man,
how many times do we see Phillip Rivers and LaDainian Tomlinson in the playoffs? 13-3, 14-1, or 14-2. And then just lose in the first round. I mean, I think we see it so often, and so I think the Charger curse is still alive.
I think the Chargers are going to get their first playoff win in a while this year. I think the Chargers are going to pull off, and they're going to get the upset against the Jags, and the Chiefs and Chargers are going to be the matchup. So we'll see what happens, but that's my prediction here.
Well, what I hope happens is Miami beats Buffalo somehow.
Oh yeah, I'd love that.
And then the Chargers beat the Jaguars, and the Chargers play the Bengals.
I'd love for all of these lower seeds to win this weekend.
That'd be pretty amazing.
It'd be fantastic. It would be a easier path, not easy, but just easier path for the Chiefs to make it through each round. So, we'll see what happens. So, but thanks for joining us in this episode of the Kingdom Corner. Man, we are happy for a Chiefs win, for the Chiefs 1 seed in the playoffs. We're going to be watching these games closely as the Chiefs face off in all these matchups. So this episode is brought to you by Ohe Threads, where a portion of every purchase goes to support missions all over the world, one super soft tee at a time. We'll see you next time right here in the Kingdom Corner.